For this video, we travel to the heart of the Pacific Northwest, to the outdoor adventurers' playground of White Salmon, Washington. We're here to meet kayaker and filmmaker Rush Sturges, who will be putting the Panasonic Lumix DC-S1H to the test.
My name is Rush Sturges. I'm an adventure filmmaker. I was fortunate enough to grow up at a kayak school in Northern California called Otter Bar that my family still runs. And I spent the majority of my life as a professional kayaker, and in recent years have been transitioning into filmmaker. The Columbia River Gorge is just one of the most beautiful places on earth. We have the White Salmon River flowing through the area here, and it just kind of has turned this part of the world into a bit of a whitewater mecca. Actually, as long as I can remember, I wanted to make films from just being a little kid. And then when I discovered kayaking, it was just sort of a natural fit to kind of merge the two together. My production company, River Roots, we have a long history of using Panasonics from the GH4 to the GH5, which have been great cameras. So I was really excited to try out the S1H.
The Panasonic Lumix DC-S1H is a full-frame, mirrorless, interchangeable lens camera. At a high level, the S1H is an attractive video camera for productions that require a very high-quality, tough, compact system. Featuring a stabilized 24-megapixel sensor, the S1H can, depending on your needs, shoot video at up to 6K, but really this is a 4K powerhouse, offering 422 10-bit internal recording and unlimited record time. It also includes pro-oriented extras, like 400 megabits per second recording, and a wide range of compression and high-speed shooting options.
I decided a cool place to test this camera would be on the green truss section of the White Salmon, which is our local Class 5 run. Kayaking is a tricky sport to shoot because for the vast majority of these locations, you have to be an expert kayaker. I brought along Fred Norquist, who helps me on a lot of our shoots. You know, he has to bring the camera along. He has to run all the same drops that I'm running. We brought along Haley Stewart, who is also a filmmaker and is an expert kayaker. So we have a pretty solid little team here to go out and test out this camera.
While chunkier than most mirrorless ILCs, the S1H is still smaller than a lot of dedicated professional video cameras, making it potentially very attractive as a B or C camera on large productions.
We stopped a drop called Big Brother, which does have some consequences to it if you mess it up. Big Brother is a great location to test some of the capabilities of this camera. So I put Freddie kind of out on this little cliff face where he could kind of get right up next to me. I always think that those shots look the coolest. You're just really immersed into the action. But it's also really important to cover your other angles. The angle that usually makes the drop look the biggest is from downstream. Then you can really see the verticality of it. You know, I think it's really important to sort of cover the whole drop and shoot a story with it. So that includes the approach, the midsection, and the bottom. You want to cover every step of the way and, you know, hopefully be able to piece that together, not just into a good shot, but a nice sequence. We did some 4K 60 frames, which looks absolutely beautiful. We shot some much higher frame rates at 120, and that footage is absolutely beautiful as well. I think that the general consensus here is that this camera can compete with some of the really high-end cinema cameras, and it's actually kind of hard to tell a difference. So after Big Brother, we kind of dropped deeper into the canyon. Kayaking, you know, gives you the ability to sort of step into this whole other dimension that you could never experience on foot or in any other way. From there, we kind of continued downstream and ultimately got to BZ Falls, which is one of the trickier drops on the run. Has a really kind of funky hydraulic at the bottom. We always say that rapid's a little bit of a roll of the dice. We shot some 6K at 24, and it's just incredible to me that these little cameras can shoot that resolution. It's definitely nice as a filmmaker to have the option of doing photos, whether that's a burst sequence or shooting a time lapse. I really like that aspect of these cameras, just to have the option. You know, for me, I'm super lucky. Like, I get to go out and do these types of shoots, and it's work, but it's not really. It's a lot of fun, and just super fortunate to be able to do this. And today was a super fun day with all my friends, going out and testing out these absolutely incredible cameras. So I feel pretty lucky.